What is up, guys? Tom here, and welcome back to another episode of Virtual Top Gear. Now, the car that you can see now is the Infinity Q50. Now, as you can see, this is a saloon car, and it's four-wheel drive. You'd expect it to be sort of like a easy car to drive, nice and calm, so like a gentleman's saloon. But it really isn't. This car has 560 horsepower, which is a lot under the bonnet. Obviously, this is a front-engine car, not mid-engine like supercar. It's pretty much just a kind of saloon. The thing, well, this car has 442 foot-pounds of torque and weighs 3,836 pounds. So, you would kind of think this car would be sort of like a gentleman's saloon. It's four-wheel drive. It has quite a lot of power, I suppose. Nice and calm. It's not too crazy. It goes around the track fine. There's no problems with it. But it's hard to find out what kind of audience Infinity are trying to get at with this car, because you'll see in a minute a picture of the interior. Now, the interior isn't the nicest, and just looking at it, you can't really think who that interior would appeal to. Because it's obviously not a gentleman's saloon if the interior has bright red bits and there's like bright red pieces of fabric on the steering wheel that obviously will not kind of appeal to that kind of audience. So it really kind of makes you think, well, who the car is really supposed to be appealing to. You see, this car in the game will cost you 100,000 credits. Now, I'm pretty sure that's probably quite a lot more than the car costs in real life. But with the bright red interior, it has quite a lot of power, and that you might think that might appeal to kind of a younger person. And obviously, a younger person, it might be them buying their first car. And if they're buying their first car, they're obviously not wanting to be paying a price up to £100,000, obviously in real money. So it's kind of hard who you think this car would appeal to. And obviously, if you're a young car buyer or whatever, a saloon car, four doors, wouldn't really appeal to you. So it's kind of hard to think about who this car is for. Don't get me wrong, this car is very, very quick. It is A-class in game. And it does handle pretty well around the track, especially in the wet here. Obviously, with it being four-wheel drive, that really helps it grip the road. Obviously, at high speeds, through high-speed corners, with it being four-wheel drive, it does mean it understeers sometimes, but it's not really meant to be going around the track. It's probably definitely meant for the road. See, the thing is, with a name like Infinity, you would think the car company would be making futuristic electric cars, sort of almost. But they don't. This is like a pure petrol engine car. There's no fancy hybrids or anything like that. This is just like a bare bone kind of like petrol engine car, which pollutes the atmosphere just as much as anything else. You see, the thing is, though, this car, yeah, it's a nice car, it's not too bad, but for a price of 100 credits, not 100 credits, blimey, that would be a bargain, 100,000 credits, it's a bit expensive, to be honest. You could buy lots of other things with same as that. You can buy, like, Aston Martins and things like that for less, for about 70,000 credits, whatever. Porsches, sort of whatever. Obviously, when I say credits, it means the in-game currency, but it's pretty similar to like the real life equivalent, like pounds, dollars, whatever. It's probably slightly less. You can kind of relate to it. But yeah, it's hard to think about who this car is for. And for the price, for how much it costs, you could get other things that are a lot better, especially in a game like this, where you're driving cars around tracks. And now what you can see is the interior. Now you see it means it's got red door linings, red brown the steering wheel. They're just like trying to stand out a lot. But you see, the good thing is, there is a new one. The Infinity Q60, which it's surprisingly called. Now, as you can see, it's got a sunroof, which means, I'm not actually sure if the other one had a sunroof. It might have done. But you can see this is a two-door car compared to obviously the saloon, which obviously makes it more sporty looking instantly. Honestly, I think the Q50 is better looking than this new one. But this is a 2015 model, so it is the new car. But you see, the thing about this car is, in-game, this car was free in one of the DLC packs. So it was a free car, everybody could download it. And the thing with the car packs is you get the car for free. So, obviously, in-game, this car is perfectly free. So, I have one myself, obviously. Like, you get quite a lot of bang for your buck. Or, in this case, you just get quite a lot of bangs. You don't spend any bucks. So, you know, it's a win-win situation. It's decently fast. It has 400 horsepower. So, looking at it, you think it would be faster. But it's not. It's got less horsepower. Got 400 compared to the 560, so it's 160 horsepower less. So it's not great, but you can still slide this car around, which is what I'm doing now. But yeah, it's got 400 foot-pounds of torque, but weighs less. It weighs 3,650 pounds compared to the 3,836, so it's a good 200 pounds lighter. Which means it would accelerate faster and get faster out of corners, but it doesn't because the Q50 is four-wheel drive. So obviously it gets better traction off the line, better traction out of corners. It's faster in a straight line, and obviously this car is front engine. There's an engine under the bonnet, as you would expect. But this car in-game is a B-class, so obviously that's a class below the other one. So, yeah, it's kind of, well, I don't know really. It's definitely not as good. In the real world, I prefer to obviously have the Q50. I think it's just faster, probably more practical, it's better looking. Obviously it's four-wheel drive, so it's got better traction, that kind of thing. I think it's probably just a better car to have. You see, in-game, the Q60 is, or can be, free. Obviously, looking at the price now, it could cost you 55,000 credits if you wanted to buy a second one, which I don't know why you would. But if you did want to, that would cost you 55,000 credits in-game, or 111 tokens. Obviously, tokens being like the currency that you pay. You can pay real money and get, but I don't know why you would do that. But yeah, if you want more excitement, although it's got less power, the Q60 is probably better because it's rear-wheel drive. Turn off the traction control, you can get it sliding easily, no problem, especially here in the rain. There is no problem with sliding. You don't even need to press the handbrake, you're just coming out of a corner, put your foot down, bang, there goes the back end, it's going flying. You see, you have no problems getting it. Obviously, if you put a tune on it and so you can actually drift rather than me, you could get this thing sliding very, very, very well. As you see, I'm getting decent slides, even though I'm obviously not the best drifter. I'm not trying to drift, just getting a few like power slides, that kind of thing. It's very, very good. It's a very, very fun car to drive. Very agile. Obviously, in racing, if you had to pick one of these cars that you're going to race and take to a track, the best car would definitely be the Q50 because it's four-wheel drive. Like I said, you've got better grip out the corners. The understeer is bearable. The understeer on the Q50 is better than the oversteer on the Q60. With traction control off, if you're trying to race this thing as fast as you can, it can get a bit out of control, a bit sideways. Obviously, if you're in the Q50 with that better traction, the four-wheel drive is a lot more stable. Out of the corner, it's 10 times better. If you just let off the power, you're still going faster than the Q60, because obviously a car will go faster in a straight line rather than going sideways, so I get a big slide on there. But yeah, obviously going out of a corner straight is faster than doing it sideways. And as you can see here, still the Q60's interior, it's still not exactly like a hiding sort of thing. It's still quite bold and got lots of chrome in it. But anyway, now it's time to send these cars around a lap of our track. And to do that, we'll have to hand it over to our tame racing driver. Bring out the Stig. So first to go here is the Q50, as he gets a pretty good launch. Obviously with the four-wheel drive, it'll get a much better launch off the line compared to the Q60 or any other rear-wheel drive car. As it comes into the first corner here, nice line through there, no problems. Using all the track, the like bright light that you have in Formula 1 cars showing that it's harnessing energy is on the back, which obviously shows this is definitely quite a futuristic car, very, very new. It comes through Chicago, no problems. Powering out the corner, good traction, obviously that four-wheel drive coming into use. He brakes down here into the hammerhead. Those 460 horsepower are being put away, ready for the exit of the corner here. Able to get the power down again, very, very well. Tight line out of the corner and then powering out, coming up towards the follow-through here. Getting up some serious speed as he comes into the follow-through. Powering now towards the tyres. Flat through there, no problem. Shaking the camera as it flies past. Coming down here into the second to last corner. Braking hard as it turns in. Nice wide corner, cutting it just like you should. Coming towards Gambon now. Braking in, round the corner. Ready to power towards the line and across the line, and now it is turn for the Q60. We've got no rest here, as it doesn't get as good traction, obviously, because the Q60 is rear-wheel drive. As it powers down, not going as fast, obviously, because it doesn't have enough horsepower. The cornering here, no understeer problems, no oversteer problems either, surprisingly. Obviously, because the car is quite light, the braking and cornering will probably be slightly better than the Q50, so it might be able to make up some time here as it comes through Chicago, as it puts the power down to get out the corner. This is where it'll be losing time on the Q50. As it comes down here towards Hammerhead, braking hard. Coming into it now. Ray not crossing the white line, not knocking over any of the cones, using all the track as it powers out, puts down that 400 horsepower as it comes down towards the follow-through. So no problems through the follow-through as it comes toward the tyres here, and again it should be flat out, no problems. Getting a bit of a slide on there as it comes through there. That'll be at least over 120, some crazy speeds as he goes through there. Down to the nice wide corner, into the second to last corner. He's coming towards Gambon now. Turning in, powering towards the line, and across the line. So then, the Infinity Q50. Obviously that was the first car to go, the saloon car. Did it in a time of 124.504, which is actually quite a remarkable time, providing that it's only 7 seconds off the Ferrari Enzo. Like, blimey, it's not too bad of a car. And then the Q60. So, unsurprisingly, well, as you can see now, it did a time of 126.596. So obviously, it it went slower. It went slower by 2 seconds. Now, I suppose that's kind of expected. I expected it to be slower purely because it's not got that traction, not got the same amount of horsepower. Though it doesn't weigh as much and it corners better, this track is really a power track. And obviously, that's what the Q60 lacks. So basically, what Infinity have done is they've set out to build a sports car, and they've made it slower than a saloon car that they made a year earlier. So, well done to them. I think they all deserve a round of applause there at Infinity for doing that. But anyway, guys, that is going to be the end of the video here. So if you have enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, because I would really appreciate that. My channel is beginning to grow, so I'm really thankful for people who are helping my channel grow, and that kind of thing is happening. So I would just like to say a big thank you to those people, and you for watching the video. So anyway, guys, I've been Tom, and I'll see you all later.